All right. Hello, everybody. This section, we're talking about types of decisions and types of deadlines that colleges have. There's a handful of different kinds of decisions and deadlines. I just want to clarify and put in perspective what each one means. So when you enter the application process, you have an understanding of how to handle that application and how to apply for that. So let me get this up here. Okay, so under deadlines, early action. Early action, also known as a priority deadline, is simply an early date. So, for example, a college may have an early action deadline of November 15th. Then they have a firm regular deadline of January 1st. So, if a student gets their application in the early action date, that simply means they're in the first round of viewing. So if there is a November 1st deadline date, early action deadline date, and you get your application in on or before that date, in return, the college promises to review your application, make a decision on you before they go to round two or before they go to any kids that have applied after that early action date and before the regular decision date. So simply put, it's in the first, you get in the first round of viewing, which is a clear advantage. So if any college has an early action deadline date, please make sure to meet that date. It will give you a little leg up and a little bit of an advantage for admission to that school. The second one, early decision, not to be confused with early action, is a very different type of decision. Early decision is a binding agreement. Therefore, when you apply to a school, early decision, and on a side note, you can only apply to one school through early decision. But if you check the boxes early decision, you turn your application in, usually it's a November 1st or November 15th deadline as well. The college promises to inform you of your status if you've been admitted or not by usually the second week of December. If you've been accepted, you are bound to go to that school. It's a binding agreement. So you then have to withdraw all your other applications that from all the other schools you apply to. So it's not to be taken lightly. It's a type of decision where you know for sure, without a doubt, that school X is a school for you. Also need to make sure that that school is affordable because you're going to have to accept that offer without knowing your financial aid package. Or any scholarships, potential scholarships. So it's a binding agreement. We encourage you to talk to your counselor, or please feel free to talk to me if you think about going that route, because it is a binding agreement. The third one, regular decision, it's simply put, it's a non-binding application and it's a flat deadline date. January 1st, December 15th, you get your application in. By then, it's cut and dry, very simple, a regular decision. Restrictive single choice early action. Without going into great detail, you can read this. There are less than 20 colleges across the country that adhere to this type of deadline. So the chances of you having to deal with this one is a little bit slimmer, but nonetheless, you can read the detail of what restrictive single choice early action and type of deadline. This is a relatively new deadline that just a handful of very selective schools adhere to. Finally, rolling admission. Rolling admission, a college will open up their admissions office for applications, and they don't close the admissions office until they have filled their freshman class. So often rolling admission will open regular time, like late August, early September, and will stay open. They can stay, the admission offices can stay open through May, June, even up into July. It just stays open until they have met and they fill their freshman class. So it just rolls until they fill. So traditionally, you apply at any point in the time. Usually, you'll hear fairly soon of your decision, and you make your decision from there. The decisions, the types of decisions. So these are the deadlines, and once you've applied, whatever kind of deadline the college has, then there are one of four things that will happen to you when you get information or communicate back from the college. First, you get accepted. Very cut and dry. A congratulatory letter will come home that you've been accepted to that school. The second one is deferred. So what they're saying is they're not necessarily accepting you at the moment, but they're not denying you. So they are deferring your decision until later on in the school year. So if you've applied to a school in September, you hear back in December, January that you were deferred, they will re-review your application later on during second semester. Often they may ask for an essay, they may ask for first semester grades, they may ask for an additional recommendation, but you were deferred. So you're not accepted, not denied, but you deferred until later. They will re-review you. That doesn't guarantee you will be accepted at that point, but they'll re-review you and to see if then you have a chance of being admitted then. Waitlisted. Same concept, you've not been accepted, you've not been deferred or denied. What waitlisted means is that they're going to put you, there is no more space for the incoming freshman class, and they put you on a list. And if space becomes available, they will defer to the wait list and they will simply go down the line and reach out to students. Just a word of caution, I would not bank on getting taken off the wait list. Often wait lists are hundreds, if not thousands of kids on a wait list. So if you do get waitlisted to a school, please have your backup plan onto meaning the other schools you've been accepted to. Kids can get taken off a wait list all the way through mid to late summer, in fact. So please know that a wait list is a polite way of saying we're not accepting you. And if there happens to be room, somebody withdraws or they happen to have a few extra spots, they may defer to the wait list. Finally, denied. Simply as it says, they at this point they have not offered you admission, and you need to look at your other schools of choice. I hope that clarifies deadlines and decisions. Thanks for listening.